Hey everyone, welcome. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining and coming back for another Friday night show here on the Jiminy Flipper channel. Great to have you. Thanks for spending some time. It is 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. I had to start an hour late. Got to give you the backstory, right? Everybody's probably wondering, why is he so late? I had to drive my wife up to Trenton, New Jersey. She's taking a train out to Long Island tonight, which is like a 3.5, 4-hour train ride. It's her first time doing this. She's visiting some friends of the family. I have to stay home with my dad. So she's going solo, and I had to drive up to Trenton and back, and long drive home. So I just walked in 10, 15 minutes ago. Thank God I scheduled it for 8 o'clock, excuse me. So anyway, that's my story. Here we go. I do have some ads to list. So if you guys are interested, I am definitely down for doing some listing tonight. I listed a little bit this morning, but not enough. It was a very hectic day over here, but hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday and into your Friday night. Weekend is upon us. These weeks just keep flying by. It's amazing to me to think that we are already back on Friday night. Feels like we were just on the show a couple of nights ago. But welcome. Hi, Eve. How you doing? Happy Friday to you. If you have a vintage ad on both sides of the page are good, do you list one side? Yep, I just kind of choose which one I think is more marketable, more sellable, and I choose to list that one. It happens once in a while where you have like two decent looking ads on either side of a sheet of paper, but I just list one of them. What's up, Carl? How you doing? Number 2 is here. Welcome aboard, man. Hey, CJ. Thanks for coming in as always, sir. Great to have you. Hey, Dawn. Dawn is here. Queen of Canada. Carl, what's up, Purple Soccer? How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. Welcome to the show. Number 1 and number 2, and Hydrogen is here. Welcome aboard, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Friday night, rock and roll. I have a show, Beatles show on Tuesday night. So no shows this weekend, but we have a Tuesday night show up in New Jersey, kind of the same area that I just drove from, actually. Not too far from it anyway. But very busy month of August for my concerts. We will, again, try to maintain either a Friday or a Monday night for the live shows, the chat shows, whatever you want to call them. And so just look out. Hopefully everybody got their announcement this week. What did I do? A Tuesday, I think I set it up, something like that. Can't believe, again, I'm just going to say it one more time because I can't believe it's Friday already. This week just flew. There he is. What's up, Greg? How you doing, man? Great to have you. Thanks for coming in. Blue Feather Ephemera. Got to check out his YouTube channel. Does wonderful videos all about print ads with statistics. He's kind of the Mark SM Postcards of the print ad world, where he gets into statistical information and all that kind of jazz, which I think is really cool. So welcome aboard. Great to have you. What do I have? Let me give a quick look. I have 19 ads left. I listed like 10 this morning or so from the same magazine. It is from May. Yes, May of 1966. So we're saying in the 60s. I had a whole pile of 60s magazines that I cut up. So I figured I would just plow through these. So for the next, I don't know, probably for the last couple of shows, I think we've done 60s ads, right? And now this one tonight for sure, if we get any listing done, which I'd like to. Probably the next one too. We're going to try to finish off this slew of 60s print ads. This one's from 66. I've had 60, 61, 65, and 66 for whatever reason. Have been the ones that have been available that I cut up. Blue Feather Farmer, you just subscribe to your channel, like your videos. Yeah, Hydrogen, definitely. I recommend everybody do it if you haven't. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Postcard guy from sunny, hot Florida. Welcome aboard, sir. Oh, my goodness. I have to get my heart rate down. I just flew down 95, for those who know, from New Jersey down through Philadelphia, which is a complete debacle. I think there's a Phillies game tonight, so I drove. If anybody knows the area, when you're on 95 coming south into Philadelphia, you pass right by the whole stadium complex with the football stadium and baseball stadium. So that exit was just mobbed, like backed up for 2 miles. I think people were going to the ball game. That's my assumption anyway. I'm not really sure. But it was one heck of a ride home, let me just tell you. I flew up there, but coming home took twice as long. I am sure everyone will find your content, interesting and helpful. Probably in that order too. First intriguing and interesting, and then wow, this is helpful information. So let me know how you guys did this week. How were your sales? How were things? How was listing? Everybody get some listings up. We are kind of in the middle of the doldrums of this summer slowdown stuff. It's definitely a real thing. My volume just in general has gone down. Even the traffic has gone down a bit, despite the fact that I keep listing. But It's okay. We knew it was coming, right? It'll be over before you know it. We'll be right back into fall again pretty soon, another 2 months, and everything will pick back up. So let's just get through this. Keep listing quality items, take good pictures, and title it correctly, price it fairly, and let the chips fall where they may. You guys have a good week. I'd love to hear some information, how you guys did. The good, the bad, the ugly. Please share. We're all family here at this point, aren't we? What's up? Parker's Postcards. Again, always goes by a different name, but great to see you, man. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in. Dawn, sales have gone down like crazy, but so is your listing. Well, yeah, there's a direct proportion there. What's the word? Something like that. Yeah, it's funny how that works, right? Sales are rebounding. That's good. Hope the trend continues. Tonight, you're listing from the Farmer's Wife, 1934. Very good. Cool. Yeah, so maybe you'll be listing as we list. Excuse me. Yeah, I subscribe to the same idea. Let's just list. Just keep listing. Get some volume up in your store, and then when the dam breaks, all those buyers will come back in droves, and you'll have a lot of stuff up there ready for them to select and purchase. Hopefully. Dawn listed today for the first time in like 4 days. Oh, really? See, I don't miss listing days unless I'm away. But I have a la Dawn. I've pulled a Dawn several times. I've got like a little draft bank going. I don't have one right now because I'm home to list, but probably on maybe tomorrow, over the weekend, maybe I'll get a little draft bank going again, so that when I'm gone Tuesday for the show and all, I could list a little bit in the morning before I head out. But it'd be nice to have a draft bank and maybe get like 20 more during the course of the day. Set it off to go off like every 5 minutes, something like that. Definitely a nice tool. That used to be a paper tool, and now it's free. Eve, do I send offers to Leicas, to watchers? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do, Eve. I highly recommend if it's within your budget. Everybody does that, no matter what you're selling. One of the best features I would argue that eBay's ever rolled out was a few years ago now, I guess, the ability to send offers to watchers. Absolutely, I do. You're still working on setting up and stocking your third vintage booth. Wow, cool. Made your first couple of sales there, no complaints. Awesome. Good stuff. Purple Circle, last 2 weeks of trending upwards. Hope that trend continues. Ditto. Average week, the new lower average. Yeah, no, the new normal, right? That dreaded term. Yeah, it's temporary. It's just a seasonal thing. It's okay. I know. Isn't it shocking? Seriously. Welcome, Lise. I can't believe it's Friday again. It really does fly. Cameron has a question. If I had a chance to buy printouts already cut and bordered for $1 each, buy or cherry pick? If I cherry pick, what sells best? Funny you should mention that, man, because I was going to bring up, I spoke with Greg earlier today because I know he's a print ad guy. I have an opportunity to pick up about 1,000 ads, very much like Cameron's describing, where they're already cut out. They're not bordered, but they're already cut out. They're very organized into categories and kind of all over the board. You got from like turn of the century, the 1890s, I think was the earliest, up to like the 50s, 60s. Very similar to my kind of like range of ads that I typically list. And I have an opportunity to pick up a bunch of those, like 1,000. And I was wondering if anybody is interested in them. If perhaps you don't have a really big collection yet, and you're looking to get into it. Let me know if you guys have any interest. I did reach out, like I said, to Blue Feather Ephemera Greg. He just picked up a bunch, so he thanked me for my interest. I just wanted to reach out to him because I know he does print ads. But if anybody has an interest in about 1,000 really nifty print ads, they're groovy, they're swell, let me know. Send me an email and I'll give you the information. I have a little video actually of like going through some of them. They're very well organized, and it's just something I could offload relatively quickly. I would ship them out to you for free, as a matter of fact. But about 1,000 ads, so already cut out. Just basically have to hit a copier or a scanner or a phone, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So if you're looking to build a collection, if you're looking to start a collection, let me know. Send me an email. It's just jiminyflipit@gmail.com. If you go into my description or whatever it is, my channel thing, you could find it. But it's just jiminyflipit@gmail. So let me know if you're interested, and I'll give you the info. But if I had an opportunity for $1, yeah, I mean, I would. Cherry pick. I mean, as long as they're all, my thing, I think you know this, Cameron, right? My thing with print ads is as long as they're in decent condition, they're not, no significant water damage or staining or rips. Almost every ad will eventually sell. So yeah, I'd be interested in that. Well, I think $1 is a bargain, actually. Major bargain. What's up, Enzo? You calculated your average cost with shipping and all supplies is $4.72, and anything above is profit. Do you have calculated shipping on your product, or you do like a fixed rate? I do fixed on my print ads. It's $5, and that, much to Enzo's point there, that pretty much covers. In fact, I think it does. I had to raise it from $4.50 to $5 with the recent uptick in pricing, thanks to the United States Post Office. So I'm at a flat $5 rate for print ads, and it covers them throughout the continental U.S. But it's interesting you said that, Enzo. I think it's a great idea. If anybody hasn't done this before, if you like, let's just say you live in calculated land, which I do with a lot of other things, but items like postcards, I have the eBay standard envelope. It's free. But the print ads, because I know the weight, I know the dimensions, they're all going to be the same. That $5 pricing for me works out really well. It's just and I have of course I combine shipping. So if somebody wants to buy like 20 ads, they would still go out for just the $5. It's definitely a good bargain. It gets to the buyer quickly. I'm a big fan of this ground. Very much so. At first, when they got rid of the first class, they went to the ground thing. I didn't know how it would go, but I think it's a really it's a cheaper alternative for most items. If you're under a pound, even under 2 pounds, as opposed to priority. But I'm a big fan. Postcard guy, you had some single card sales around $200 each. Holy cow! Listing daily, but really all that matters is the money that comes in, right, man? That's fantastic. Yeah, you got it again, Kevin, postcard guy on YouTube. You got to check him out. Subscribe. Anybody who digs postcards like I do, and I know a lot of us that watch the show love postcards too. You got to check out Postcard Guy on YouTube. Dawn Hydrant, you got a PM this evening. Today someone busted the glass out of your showcase in your vintage booth. Oh no, get out of here. Sorry to hear that. What's up, Lany? You do $5 on large ads, $4 on micro. Yeah, $5 definitely covers my cost anywhere in the U.S. for the print ads. So welcome to the show. And I'm sorry, is it pronounced Lany, like as an A, or Lany? Yeah, that's not good. Somebody broke the glass. Not cool. Grand advantages can take a while and wonky tracking them. I've had, knock on wood, every time you say something like this, I've had no problem at all with ground advantage. I'm a fan of it. It seems to be fairly fast. No complaints. I've never had anybody complain about shipping. So overall, I think it's a pretty decent cost savings. Oh, I think Mrs. Flippett is letting me know where she is in her journey. Let's check in. She's waiting for them to post what track for the 8:30. Oh, Mrs. Flippett is in Penn Station in the big city, baby. Anybody know? Madison Square Garden. Just waiting for them to post what track for the 8:30. It's a big deal for her. She lives down in this area her whole life. She's not used to taking trains in Manhattan and all that stuff. So I'm excited for her. It definitely beats. It's like a 4.5-hour drive when she goes alone, and she gets very stressed out in those long rides. So we wanted to try the train this time. What's up, Roger? How you doing? How's it going this evening? It is going well, sir. Thank you for joining me. We might be listing tonight. We'll see. We might just chat. We might just list. If you notice in the title or the description of the video, whatever the thumbnail, I didn't put listing show because I wasn't sure about this whole driving with my wife and all, and what time I get back, and if I'd be in the mood, quite frankly, to do a bunch of listing. But I think I'll be good because I had a bunch of ads already scanned, so that definitely set me up. If we'd like to list, we could do it. Terrible. Did they cause other damage? Stole from stuff? I hope. Yeah, really. Did they steal anything? $391. You charge $450, but monitoring. Most expensive item is the rigid mailer. Oh yeah, if you want to, yeah, sure. If you're gonna, itemize every single piece of the shipping, definitely I would agree. By a mile, the rigid mailer is the most expensive part. But to me, they're worth their weight in gold because, not to jinx things, but I've always had incredible success with them. Nobody's ever complained that they were bent or damaged, and most of the feedback I get usually raves about the shipping. So as far as the packaging, I should say. Good evening, Mark. Welcome to the show, man. How are you? Purple Sarko says, you have ads show up as not ever updated with tracking. eBay dropped the tracking info somewhere along the way. Really? Get out, really? Man, I'll tell you, maybe I'm just a lucky boy. I really have very, very few problems. Even with standard envelope, I haven't had lots. I mean, I think I've had like 2 or 3 that claim to have never been received and probably got lost out of, hundreds that have gone out. So I'm doing fine with the shipping. If I get too many more, you'll drop you out a top seller. Oh my goodness, I hope not. Hi, Jen. You don't think any stock is missing based on the info from the staff there? I have a key to the place. You're going to check out things after the show. Oh, wow. You going out tonight? Be careful, man. If you have to go boogie. Go take care of business. I appreciate you stopping in very much. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I got all these emails popping in. I just want to make sure it's something important. I just picked up my first, what is it called? The little printers that print out the mailers by themselves. What is it called? The scanner. I forgot what it's called. What is it called, Don? They have the Rolos. I did get a Rolo. I got a cheaper one on Amazon. It was same day delivery, but I'm excited. So I don't have to, the thermal printer. Thank you, Purpose Soccer. Took me forever to get one. I don't know why. I had no problem with my regular printer, but the ink keeps running out and it's becoming, ridiculous. Of course, the black ink, is the most expensive ink. I think it's like $40-50 for one little cartridge, which is just asinine. And I was thinking, I could just pick up the thermal printer and say goodbye to ink. I'll still use my printer for other things. I print set lists out for my shows. I print stuff out for the bakery business and all that. But at least for my labels, I could save a lot of money. So I'm pretty psyched. I just got it when I walked in the door, so I haven't set it up or anything. But it's going to live down here under my desk. It's so tiny. The thing is like this big. And I love the idea that I don't have to buy ink anymore. So there's my nice. I haven't done an upgrade like that in a long time. Looked like I got trampled. Print ad. That's terrible. I've not had any issues with that. Yeah, where's the hello heart? What's up with that? Patient pick, a first time live. You enjoy watching your videos. Well, thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Great to have you. Kind of a laid back Friday night for me. Just wanted to come on and say hi. Maybe we'll get some listings up. It's a little bit later in the evening than usual for the reasons I mentioned earlier, but I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. And thanks for checking out the videos. Here we go. I'm going to open up Pandora's box. What is the significance of the different color hearts? Is there a significance? Like I noticed Dawn has a blue heart. Does that mean something? Hello, Maria. How are you? Happy Friday to you. Thermal printer. Yes. Sorry, the name escaped me. Terrible. Thermal printer. Yes. Thermal printer. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. It's going to be cool. And I got a stack of 500 labels. It was like $14. It was pretty cheap. I think that's cheap anyway. The ones that kind of fold and they just go right through the machine. So I'm pretty pumped to check it out. Should be a game changer. Just not for the, I have no problem with the printer itself. It prints fast. Everything's fine. I just can't stand the ink running out constantly. It drives me nuts. And every time I go to buy the ink, I'm thinking that's $50. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. For 2 things of ink, I could buy a nice thermal printer and say goodbye to ink. Yes, Patient Picker. Great to have you. Cool name, too. I like the name. What are you into, Patient Picker? What do you do? Do you do paper? What kind of stuff do you like to sell? Welcome to the fun. Another sparse crowd tonight, I must say, but that's okay. It's not the size of your crowd that matters, right? Diet Coke is tonight's tipple. Feeling thirsty? You don't remember what started the blue heart? Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was some kind of significance, like the colors of flowers or roses. This like a yellow rose means this, and a pink rose means this. I thought maybe in cyberspace these different colors meant something. Have a fun show, Marty. Thank you. We have I Love the Evening. You wanted to jump in and say, hey, oh, no problem. That is the grandbaby, right? I think we wanted clarification last time you mentioned. But say hello to the missus. Thank you very much for coming in. And you have a great time. Blue is your favorite color, and blue is how I lean, if you catch my drift. Blue US. Cool. Okay, so there is a significance. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Now she's getting on the Long Island Railroad, for those who know, from Penn Station on the Ronkonkoma line out to Ronkonkoma. Just got to make sure my baby's okay. Are you on the train? Well, there you go. Very cool. Yeah, enjoy your time, Mark. Thank you very much for stopping in. I appreciate it. All right, so tonight it's got to be forgivable, right? It's just Mrs. Flippett. That's funny. Or maybe it's somebody else here, Weisenheimer. I just want to make sure she's okay and on the train. That's all. All right. So now we know what the blue heart, the significance is just something that, Cameron enjoys. Sports cards, non-sports cards. Started dabbling in postcards. Cool print ads, cool old paper magnets. Magnets, that's interesting. Very good. Well, welcome aboard. It really is cool to have you. I do not know sports card and non-sports cards, but they are obviously extremely popular. So it's great to have you. I'm sure you could bring a lot of useful information to the fold here. All right, guys, do you want to do a little listing? You just want to chat a little bit and go to bed? I could care less right now. I'm just, I want to take in a leave and rest my back. And it's going to be a rough night. I have trouble sleeping when my wife isn't home with me, so I've got 2 nights I got to get through. Tonight's night 1. But I'll cuddle up with the puppy and we'll get through it. Let me know if you guys are interested in doing some listing. I could do that. If you just want to hang out and chat, I could do that too. But it is good to see you, Patient Picker. Thank you. I love when new people come in and introduce themselves and talk about what they enjoy to sell, and maybe if they want to share any best practices or techniques, they're always welcomed. Elise asks, does it make you leery if a buyer changes his address to send after purchase? Yes, it does. If they change it or if they send you a message that says, oh, can you please send to such and such? I just politely ask them to change. I politely say something to the effect of the eBay, the label is generated automatically from the stored address on your eBay profile, something like that. So if you want to, I'd be happy to send it to to some other address. If you would kindly go in and change that address, let me know when it's complete and I'll ship it. Because unfortunately, there's too many scams like that where they ask you to send it to an alternate address. And I'm not saying that everybody that does it is a scammer. Maybe there's I've had 1 or 2 where somebody said something like they're on vacation, they're at the daughter's house in Florida. But you lose your seller protection if you ship to another address that's not in, on their profile within their eBay profile. So I try to avoid that. I'm polite, even if it is a scammer, I'm still going to kill them with kindness. Because if push comes to shove and eBay wants to pull data and stuff, they could see that I was kind and I, followed their rules. So that's basically what I would do. At least I would just say something to the effect like I just said, please know that the label is generated automatically. This way it kind of puts it on eBay. It doesn't make it sound like it's something you can change, even though you can if you wanted to. The label is generated out automatically from eBay. And if you want to change it, go ahead and I'll send it to you that way. Because, I've heard too many bad stories. Mrs. Picker is away a few days with my daughter. No way, really? And you'll sleep like a baby. That's funny. See, Enzo enjoys the time. Yeah, she's just gone for the weekend. She'll be back Sunday. I got to pick her up Sunday night in the same place. Trenton, by the way. Oof. Not a good spot. Not a good spot. There's no protection for you. Exactly, Dawn. Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would do something to that effect. He said he just moved. I did as you did and lost the sale. That's okay. Yep. Yeah, I agree. You could also, did they cancel the sale? Because you could even do that proactively and say, I'll cancel the sale, relist it. Feel free to purchase it again when you have your address updated. Yeah, but like Dawn said, exactly. You lose your seller protection. So I wouldn't take that risk. I mean, if it's a cheap thing, I might not make the biggest deal out of it, but I still, try to live and work within the parameters set forth by eBay. The lady with the dollar print ads lives 2 blocks from me. Oh, wow. Yeah, how do you not, man? That's fantastic. You can give him a gander, you know what I mean? Make sure we always talk about that. No musky smell, no water. You've changed your address, but only if it's an item under 20. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could use your own, not common sense, but you could use your own, just set your own guidelines for yourself. I just subscribe to the notion that it's supposed to go to the address of record. So If they're not a scammer, they would be more than happy to go in and make that update, and then it's not a big deal. If they hem and haw and get all pissy about it, then maybe you save some grief. Yep. Patient Picker has 1,300 listings. Cool. You're hoping to get to 10,000 before you get retirement, and then hopefully have something a little more steady for a supplement for my pension. That is a fantastic idea. Are you relatively close to retirement, Patient Picker? Someone on eBay is going to have to be a pension. Yeah, there you go. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. You did that. Told them they needed to cancel, but they could just repurchase. It was $49 postcard. I gave them a discount. Yeah, see, I wouldn't mess with that. Good call. I think that was I think you did the right thing. Without question. That's what I would have done. Does Mrs. Flip it aboard the Long Island Railroad train? That's the real question. Just got on. Not as nice a train. Not bad. All right, Mrs. Flippett is on the final leg of the journey. So she should be pulling into Ronkonkoma about 9:30, which is basically the same. We left at 5:15, 5:30. So it's about the same as it would have been driving. And it saves her all the grief of driving and all the traffic. And believe it or not, even with the cost of the tickets, it winds up being cheaper because the price of the Jersey Turnpike, the George Washington Bridge, for those who know, is $16 a toll. So just that alone pays for the Long Island Railroad train ticket, not to mention gas and the tolls on the turnpike. So, and there's like 3 bridges. So it's actually cheaper, believe it or not, to do that. Sellers generally can't change the shipping address that you provide at checkout. If they haven't yet sent the item, the best thing to do is ask the seller to cancel a transaction. That's very true. So yeah, absolutely. You could cancel it or request them to cancel it. Yep. But I'm a stickler with that. I'll just say that the label is automatically generated, based upon the address of record on your account. 5-7 years in law enforcement. You got 5 or 7 years left. Cool. Very good. Yeah, build it up. 10,000 is a solid amount. It's got to be 10,000 good items, though, right? Yeah, Cameron, that's fantastic, man. The item with the correct shipping address. Yes. Dawn, what does the blue wrench mean after your name? That means that Dawn is a very special gal. That's what it means. Why is she going around Ronkonkoma? She is visiting a friend of the family. That's where she lives, out in the middle of Long Island. They have 2 little kids. We're just friends. We go travel together and stuff like that. And usually we'll go together. She's going for the weekend to hang out with the kids and spend a little time. They have like a nice pool and all that stuff. And I would love to go, but I have to. We take care of my dad at home, and I can't leave him alone for the weekend. So that's why she is on a solo trip this time. Tomorrow you're going to look at Overpriced Collection, 4,000 postcards, an Overpriced Collection. See how it goes. There you go. You can maybe you make an offer, right? That's right. That's hysterical. You haven't spent a lot of time in New England. Your limited experience up there had me hating all those tolls. Yeah, I know. Once you get past, like, I drive to Florida 45 times a year almost. It feels that way anyway. Yeah, once you get out of, I think it's the Baltimore Tunnel is the last toll. You can get all the way to Florida for no more tolls. Good evening, Keith. How are you, sir? Welcome to the show. Great to have you. People drive like nuts. Yeah, I think they always have. I'd argue they always have. But yeah, if you could take public transportation, nothing wrong with that. You canceled it. Told him you'd be happy to honor the agreed upon price if he would just change address. There you go. And that's how, to me, that's what separates the scammers from the real genuine issues that they moved or whatever. Yep, Keith is here. Socko, this is the first weekend in several weeks without any shopping opportunities for you. So you theoretically get a lot of, yeah, in theory, exactly. Yeah, I think I'm good. I have no wife to take care of tomorrow, so I guess I'm just going to list up a storm. Man, a refreshing Diet Coke. I got to admit, once in a while, God, that's good stuff. I'm a water guy 90% of the time. This is like a treat. And again, my face looks orange. It really isn't. I think I have my saturation up too high in the camera. Let's rectify that because that's driving me a little nuts. Saturation. Took it down to 55 from 65. How's that? Yeah, that's better. Don't look like I'm an orange person. I'm not orange. Innate Easy being orange. Patient Picker. Any good recommendations on how to get rid of a musty smell from ads? A little bit of both. Yeah, I'm sure Cameron, who's going to go out and check out this collection, more of the latter, Patient Picker. Like I don't usually pick, as patient as I could be as well, if I won't pick them if they have any water damage or odor, honestly, because there's just so many other ones that don't. So I'm kind of picky when it comes to that stuff. I try to choose stuff, within reason. You can't go through every single page. I mean, I guess you can, but if you're picking up a bunch of magazines, like a few hundred magazines, I kind of just thumb through them. If there is a smell, we've had this discussion a lot over the last few years on the channel. Popeye's postcards, I think he had an idea. They sell something that you could put in like a bag or something. I guess it's almost like baking soda. It absorbs the scent theoretically. I've also heard that you could just kind of let them air dry in a sunny environment, but it is a big hassle. And you're right to your point about chalk it up as a learning experience. Just try to, if you can, be more selective. Try not to pick that stuff. I've been lucky. I haven't come across really, musky, nasty smelling stuff. And if I do, I just walk right past it and go on to the next collection. You can and will, right? I need Olympics means sitting on our butts. Oh yeah, the Olympics started. I have zero interest in it personally. Yes, that's what it means. Alrighty, family time. All right, man. Have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you spending a few minutes. Get some listing done. You just removed musty smell from a Time Mags. Did you really? Cool. Well, maybe you can recommend. There we go. Gonzo pellets. Ozone generator. That's the thing that John was talking about. An ozone generator. Yeah. I mean, it sounds fancy. Maybe it works. Maybe it's worth your time. If you already committed to buying it, or if you already bought it and it's a substantial quantity and it's stuff that's, sellable, then maybe you take the time and effort and try these different techniques. You could always go to YouTube. When in doubt, go to YouTube and how to remove smells from paper. But yeah, for future reference, just try to be a little more selective when you come across these opportunities to pick up hauls like that, and make sure you check them out first, smell them, thumb through, make sure there's no water damage. The water damage is really apparent. You'll see like the corners typically of pages, they'll have like a ring, almost like a ring around the collar stain kind of a thing, because most likely they're long dried out, but that the remnants of the water remains. And I mean, that could be a deal breaker with a lot of these ads. It's a really nasty looking ring or a stain on an ad. So definitely look for those two things. The smell thing is easy, but thumb through and make sure you look for those corners, look for those potential water spots. And I would pass personally on that stuff. If it's like one page or something, that's fine. But if it penetrates the whole magazine, I would move on. For Dawn, it depends on how bad the smell is. If it's really bad, you pitch them. Been trying to use baking soda to get rid of mothball smell. It's not working at all. Everybody going to YouTube for these selections. Ozone generator, again, says Postcard Guy. Baking soda, put it in a sealed tub. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. Again, if you already have purchased this stuff and it's in your home and you spent the money, then you have to do everything you can to try to make it, try to salvage that collection. But if you haven't committed or you haven't bought it, just, say thanks and look for another one. Can sell to a fetish like dirty socks. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Lany. Sprayed a hand towel with Lysol spray, put an envelope with the item, and then in the freezer. Yeah, that's a good idea. The freezer kills all germs, right? Bacteria that cause the odor. Good suggestion. I like it. But then you got to thaw them out, and then the thawing process might introduce moisture into the whole equation, and moisture and paper are not a good combination. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Thanks for coming in, man. Gonzo pellets don't seem to be readily available in Canada, but keep looking. The mothball smell is so strong. Yeah, they were magazines? Oh, other stuff. There you go. Enzo, yeah, that's nasty. Nasty. Where have you been, says CJ. CJ needs answers, man. Dryer sheets is actually a really good idea too. And what did I use a dryer sheet for? It's a great idea. The scented dryer sheets. Something else I used dryer sheets on. And it worked really well. It wasn't paper. It escapes me. But yeah, I've used that for odor removal with something else. And it worked like a charm. Definitely worked. I think it was a hat, a couple of caps, actually. They had a weird smell that I got for free. and I wanted to sell them, and I put them in a bag with dry sheets and anything that absorbs, like baking soda, the dry sheets to an extent, would probably help. It's allowed, Jeff. Welcome aboard, man. I appreciate it. And you're out west, right? So this is a good time for you, I hope. I didn't start till 8 o'clock tonight. You can rewind and listen to why we're late tonight. I'm not going to repeat it again. Mrs. Flip it on en route. Not too bad. Got a family of battalions next to me. Hey, Enzo. Got a couple of paisans next to her. Nothing wrong with that. Good question, though. And it has come up a lot. I've been lucky that I haven't had that issue. And the few times I've come across it, which is usually in estate sales. If you ever go to estate sales, folks, excuse me, the one drawback of drinking soda. If you ever go to estate sales, which is something that Mrs. Flippant and I like to do a lot, it's where we get a lot of our paper items. There is generally, I don't know why it is, but probably because the house has usually not been lived in for a period of time. The person usually passes away. A couple of months go by. The family gets together, decides to do an estate sale. So anyway, with that said, there is a kind of a general musky smell, if you will, in the home. Nothing terrible usually, but just kind of an unkept scent, almost without fail, every estate sale I've gone to. And sometimes that stuff can get on that, or that odor can get on the stuff to an extent. But when I go by, if I come across some magazines or whatever, like we just talked about, or a big collection and I'm intrigued, I always make sure to literally like just go up and smell them, make sure they don't have any, repulsive odor to them, and thumb through, make sure there's no water damage or tears or rips. That could also be a deal breaker, Those are, bad things when you're trying to sell print ads. You want to have the most, pleasant appearance you can, because if you use a scanner, especially like my scanner or any scanner, those little flaws and stuff are going to be very apparent when you blow them up and put them in an eBay listing. If there's like everybody on it, it's just a piece of paper, right? So I'm not expecting everything to be pristine, but if there's like a blatant water stain or a blatant tear or a rip, I mean, it could obviously make all the difference and make it basically unlistable. Patient Picker got Popular Mechanics and some other magazines from the 50s. Should have passed. Didn't spend a lot of time. You got Popular Mechanics and some other magazines from the 50s. Should have passed. Meaning you picked them up and you don't like them? Or you should have picked them up. Sorry. Oh, hey, Madon. Yep, she's got the paisans on the train. She's on Long Island Railroad. So you heard that those pellets are good. I think they are volcanic rock. Get out, really? Oh, you're in South Carolina. Okay. I thought you were out west. I don't know why I always thought Jeff was out west. State sales are great. I agree. Most people ignore paper items. Correct. Yeah, I've talked about that a lot. Exactly right. That's my experience too. People make a beeline. Women usually make a beeline for jewelry, china, housewares. Absolutely. The guys usually in my area anyway, they run to like the garage or the basement for power tools and tools. And they will literally walk over a lot of this stuff that we enjoy, like the paper stuff, the magazines. I've seen people literally trample on magazines. I'm a big record guy, so I always ask about records, CDs, any kind of musical media. Big fan of that stuff. That's the kind of two main things. And now that I have a clothing store on the side, I'll be looking for more clothing where I never really used to. Going to grandma's closet and start thumbing through. I mean, hey, she can't wear it anymore, right? So take a chance. I don't know what the pricing is like at an estate. Anybody ever bought clothing at an estate sale? I would imagine like everything else, they're trying to get the ultimate goal of the person facilitating the estate sale is to get rid of everything, so I'm sure if you bought a bundle of stuff up, they'll work with you, and hopefully you don't have to itemize every single piece. You just say, hey, I have a big old pile of clothes, $20 for everything. How's that sound? I think it's good business. Reminds you of your favorite Leonard Skinner song. Oh, that smells, sure. Smell of death surrounds you, Keith. No, just on the smell. Nice heads. Oh, okay, gotcha. State sales in your area don't usually have paper, really. Yeah, and that's why, for me, I've mentioned this before, but again, for anybody new, always ask if you can, especially at estate sales. I have a couple of guys that I go to frequently, and they're really cool. Two main estate sale guys that are awesome that will text me in advance, and they kind of let me know. They never let me in early or anything like that. I'm not cheating, but they give me a heads up, either yay or nay, because they know what I'm interested in, which actually now I need to tweak that because now I'm interested in clothes, which I never was before. But they'll let me know, oh, this place has a bunch of magazines. You want me to put them on the side? Stuff like that, which is priceless. Or they'll say, if you don't want to come, it's fine. There's nothing, there's no records, there's no this, and it saves me a trip. So it's really good, like anything else in any other aspect of life, to build relationships, network, as they say. It really does potentially pay off for you and save you time. It's kind of nice knowing going in that my buddy has a stack of magazines next to the checkout area with my name all over them. And again, most people, almost everybody, to Lany's point earlier, it's true. They ignore the paper stuff and make a beeline for these other more popular, or perceived more popular items. Elise says, a box of postcards you bought had a dry sheet in them. Very cool. But once the sweet smell wore off, a tobacco smell remained. Ooh, smoke is another big one, right? That's going to be another thing. It's tough to get out. I don't know if maybe those pellets or something help with the smoke. But that's a shame. So it was just kind of disguised. The odor was disguised, eh? Vintage restaurant menus. Good stuff, yeah. Howard Johnson menu. Sure, very cool. That's good stuff. Wonder if putting dry sheets between some of the pages will get rid of the odor. It could potentially. Or it might just mask, as Elise just mentioned, right? Sometimes it masks the smell. You really want something that absorbs it. I would think the dry sheets would absorb it, though. I guess trial and error. And go to YouTube, see if anybody has some videos about those things. I'm sure there's a video about everything on YouTube, so I'm sure there's something. You would be hesitant to use dry sheets of paper because they might leave residue or something. Plus, there's a lot of people with sensitivity. Sure. They do have unscented dryer sheets, but I don't know if that would do anything when you're trying to get rid of odor, unless it just has some sort of absorbing property to them. I don't know what the sheets are made out of. Patient Picker got some nice postcards from Bermuda. Interesting. Old airplane boarding passes in the States. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I love airplane stuff. At your local flea market, they also intone paper items. Place the ad between two pieces of thin cardboard and iron it with an iron. Yep, I had a video about that because I had a wrinkle on one of my print ads. The iron does work. Just make sure you have something protecting it. I used like a microfiber cloth, a washcloth, anything. Just don't directly make contact with the iron on the paper. But it does work. It really does. The steam, little of the steam on an iron. Don't make it too hot. And if you have a wrinkle or something, and mine was a sold, if you guys remember the video, it was a sold ad. It was already sold. I'm like, oh man, I had a big crease, and it was my own mistake. When I put it back in my, I put the collection of ads from whatever magazine that was back in my drawer. I must have accidentally put something on top of it and bent a corner. So like 20 ads all had a big crease on the top right. It came out really, really well with the iron, but I don't want to make a habit of having to iron all my print ads. So shame on me for not being careful. So now I take the extra second it takes to make sure everything is nice and flat before I put it back in my file cabinet. Unscented dry sheets for the laundry. No. I guess, is it really just for static? That's what I thought they were for. Old food items like Pandoras Box. Cool. There are collectors for everything. That's one thing I think we've all probably learned in our eBay journey and escapades, is that there is just a collector for everything out there. Even within the ephemera space, not to mention actually collecting physical items, but within ephemera, there's people that like, within the postcard space, within the print ad space. This guy sends me a coupon. I'm not going to mention any names, but it's a postcard guy that I met in York, and just talk with him or whatever. And he's a good guy, good enough guy, but I guess I must have bought something. So I keep getting these. Here's your chance to save with the coupons. It's annoying. Annoys me. Wonder if people think the same of my stuff. Do you guys send out coupons? Do you guys send out newsletters? What do you do to market your store? What do you do? Oh, what does everybody think about the new, let me go to my home screen. What is it called? Advertising tab. Which just basically gives you like a dashboard of all your current advertisements or campaigns. Promoted, offsite, promoted. I don't know that makes that much of a difference. Anybody give a look at that thing? Be interested what you think. It's called the advertising tab. It says new. Then there's still a marketing tab, which now has a summary tab. Click on that. Activity tracker. Pretty cool. They're always tinkering, trying to make improvements, I hope. Where is the advertising tab? Right on the, excuse me, my goodness, the seller hub. If you go to your homepage on the Seller Hub, it says Overview, Orders, Listings, Marketing, Advertising, and it has the word New. And if you click on Advertising, it just has two options, Dashboard and Campaigns. There's a Store tab, which is still pretty relatively new. Performance, we all know about, right? Payments, your Research, which is basically Terapeak, and then they have reporting functionality. But that is a new tab. Dawn's been sending out coupon with your offers, but the coupon expires on Wednesday and haven't decided whether or not to make another one. I just had a sale going on my print ads for 25% off, 20 or 25% off that just expired today. It was good for a month. So I want to see what happens with that. What usually happens when you have I have like 4,200 ads, I think, something like that listed right now. When you have like a decent quantity like that, or the same thing with postcards, somebody that has like 10,000 postcards, if you put them all on sale for a month or so, and the sale expires, you'd be surprised. You'll suddenly get a bunch of people that maybe were watching, if not officially watching within eBay, but looking at your stuff and being on the fence, let's say. And then when that sale ends, you'll get offers for kind of like what the sale price was. So that's a nice downstream impact of your sales potentially. If you have a lot of items, is that you might get people coming in making offers to you for what your sale price was. And of course you got to take it, right? If you had it on sale for a month at that price, the temptation might be, hey, the sale's expired, tough luck, buddy. But I'm in the business of trying to sell stuff. What's up, Geo's Treasure? Welcome to you. Great to have you. Elise bought a big artist portfolio at a recent sale for $8. She told them it was full of art, watercolor sketches, and they didn't care. Just take it. Really cool. Yeah, you got to love that. I love estate sales. Love estate sales. Roger just noticed today on your active listings page, there's a new column for promoted listings. A new column for promoted listings where it says general and priority, right? It breaks it out, I think. Even that priority is the new, that's a new name for the pay-per-click thing. Yeah, they're always tinkering in that. It's good to take a look once in a while. Yes, welcome, Geos. What you do is put a note with your items to new customers. Thank you. If you see anything else you like, I can give you free shipping on your next order. Very cool, yeah. I mean, I'm always doing stuff like that. I have like a kind of a canned thing in all my descriptions and everything I sell, I think, in this store anyway, that says, we offer combined shipping on all items, and we offer volume discounts. Reach out, send a message if you're interested in more than a couple. We work with you. You can obviously, I'm sure everybody knows this, you could set up within the marketing tab, you could set up promotions and stuff that have that, like buy 2 or more, get 10% off, buy 3 or more, get 20% off, things like that. You could have that fixed into your listings. I've had success with that in postcards for some reason, but never in print ads. Like I put something out like that, like, buy 2 or more. Well, I think I had buy 3 or more, get a 4th free. I had like 2 people take advantage of that. And I had that going for a long time. I thought that might attract more people. The volume discount thing. I create buyer groups as well, Greg, sure, within eBay. Yep. Yeah, the advertising tab is kind of just like a summary page from what I can gather. I don't know if there's any new functionality in it. It's just kind of an ease of use thing. Everyone remember to hit the like button. Yes, thank you very much, Dawn. I appreciate that. Yes, guys, if you don't mind. Thank you, Dawn, for that. Please hit that thumbs up for me, if you wouldn't mind. What's a click amongst friends? But thank you for that, Dawn. I always forget to mention that. Dawn has sales running nearly constantly. The coupon is on top of that. Cool. Yeah, see, I just think that I'm not saying anything against that, by the way, but the constant running sales thing is, I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. There's nothing special about it if it's always on, to me. And I hope sometimes that maybe people that like lurkers in the store or lurkers on the items that I have, when they see a sale pop up, which isn't an everyday thing, they jump on it. That's my hope, is that maybe it's more impactful if you don't have it running just infinitum. Geo got a ton of ads listed, but man, this slow sales. Yeah, slow sales are kind of everywhere. I know. Absolutely. Part of the deal. Exactly. Great ROI, though. I agree that. Yeah, instead of just adding new bells and whistles that nobody cares about. Elise hates ads, coupons, discounts, sales, offers, all of it. Whether the buyer or seller, just give me one price. I'm weird. No, I'm sure if you think that way, there's probably millions of others that think just like you. So that's why it's like I just said about the not to be mentioned big postcard seller. It's not John, by the way. It's nobody I like. But it's almost like it's like a nuisance almost to constantly get those messages. So-and-so was sending you a deal. Shut up. Because I bought once and they obviously have me on their little list of buyers who haven't purchased in X amount of time. It's annoying to me. Jack in the Box hamburgers from the 70s. Good question. Postcards? I don't. What is Mark doing that he's not here to answer these questions for me? Mark's probably having dinner. Long tail for sure. If you are looking for high turnover, print ads aren't it. But if you are patient and keep listing a ton, they do sell. Absolutely do. And you make a ton of money on them, for your investment. I would tend to agree with you. Would you? You neglect to run a sale for a few days, your sales dropped in zero. Yeah, it's a shame. I know you got to, and that's another thing. That's tinkering on our part, right? And that's annoying too. I like the fact that we have the ability, I should say, to do some tinkering when needed, or if we think it's needed. But it's a shame sometimes that you almost get to a point where you think you need to, like you're saying, Dawn, always have a sale running, or but I know they always say eBay likes activity, the algorithm, the robot likes activity. And all those things are activity, sending out coupons, creating buy groups and engaging with them, interacting with people via the new message. I do like the messaging system built with eBay. I think it's kind of cool. All that is considered activity. So to your point about having a sale running, I guess that's activity. And then even maybe just going in and tinkering with the sale quantity. The sale percentage, let's say, right? If you have 20% off, go up to 25, go down to 15. It's all activity. And eBay just seems to like that and favor sellers who have activity rather than stagnation. Your new strategy, check fist. Make sure nobody else is selling the exact same ad. Well, that's going to be probably tough to find. But, I mean, I have a lot of really unique stuff that's sold for a premium. That's, the name of the game, right? Supply and demand. So if there's a low supply, you're obviously going to be able to price it up. Oh, is he traveling? Okay. I was just fooling around. I'm just saying it's funny. Postcard questions, we would defer. Purple Circle might be able to chime in on that one. If you list it, they will come. Exactly. No coupons, just making sales. Sold a sheet of Charlie Brown vintage stickers, pay 25 cents. Sold for $8.99 plus shipping. Congratulations, patient picker. That's how it's done right there. Speaking of Purple Circle, you run short sales, but to restart them again pretty quickly. So you get new sale notice for a day. Exactly. That's another thing, right? If you just have your sale almost becomes stale, right? If you don't, if you just keep it running forever, if you start and stop, like Purple Circle says, you get that initial boost and activity for a new sale, kind of the excitement. So I think even if you let it, for one day, cool its jets, and then restart it or something with a slightly different amount or a different, different tag, different banner, you're not running one continuous sale. You're running for 2 days each with 4-hour gap between. Wow, it's just so much work. It's so much like busy work doing all that stuff, right? Just, if you list good items, you would think hopefully people eventually buy them. Greg is saying running no sales, sales dried up immediately. Because people get used to seeing your sales. You've done really great with vintage stickers. The scratch and stiff ones from the 80s do really well. Cool. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. Wow, it's 9 o'clock already. Anybody else exhausted? An impromptu 3-hour drive will kill you. I'll tell you that. Almost 3 hours. To run her up to the train station. I thought she was almost in New York by the time I got home. What's up with that? It's not that much work. You schedule a bunch of sales. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that's not a lot of work. It just seems like busy work almost, constantly having to go in and do stuff like that. When's my next gig? Beatle Band is Tuesday night in New Jersey on Tuesday. And then we're going to New Hampshire the next week and somewhere else. What was the other gig? I have 2 the next week. I really am tired. I apologize, folks. I probably sound like I'm half asleep. I don't mean to. Oh no, we're in Woodbridge. Yeah, we're in a town called Basking Ridge, New Jersey this Tuesday. It's nice. It's a show that we do. It's kind of a copy and paste all over the place. It's the same type of show. It's an outdoor summer festival kind of gig, which usually means like a big outdoor stage with a big old grass field and people. There's usually some seating in some of the venues, and then everything else is basically, bring a lawn chair or a blanket and hang out. And it brings throngs of people, provided the weather's okay. And it's just a big outdoor summer, hot, lots of bugs, especially with lights on a stage. I'm not complaining. No, this is our bread and butter. This is bread and butter gigs, actually. We talk about bread and butter sales and items on eBay. This is kind of a bread and butter gig. These outdoor summer festival things. Did I freeze? I'm frozen on my screen on this side. Nope, I'm back. I'll be back. Thought I froze for a second. But yeah, so that's Tuesday. And then the following Monday, we're in Woodbridge, New Jersey, which is kind of up near New York too, near Staten Island. And that's the same thing, big outdoor festival. That's a really big one. And then, we'll play the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, which is a nice casino on the 9th. That's going to be a big to-do. Then we're in New Hampshire the following week. So it'll be fun. But August is going to be a lot of these outdoor festivals. Mohegan Sun is a pretty cool casino up in Connecticut. Just reducing some screens that I'm obviously not going to be using. There we go. Like my calendar. Boom. But thanks for asking, man. Yeah, 'tis the season, like I said, with the shows. You hate having to fiddle with stuff, but unfortunately that's what eBay has sort of shown me that you need to do, yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Nothing sells itself. Yes, Patient Pickle. We played at the City Winery in Pittsburgh more than a few months ago now. It was in January, actually. Beautiful. If you've ever been, City Winery. They have a few of them around the country. We've played every one of them except Atlanta. Like we played in January, and in March we went back. We played at this place called the City Winery, which is really nice, in Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia, in St. Louis, in Chicago. What was the other one? One in Manhattan. Atlanta we didn't hit, and there was, I think, maybe one more we didn't hit. Boston, I think we didn't go to. You worked near Basking Ridge? Get out. I used to drive past Basking Ridge on 78 going into the city. Yeah, it's nice. Nice area. What else is over? Basking Ridge? They're all the same. Basking Ridge and Summit is nice up there. Berkeley Heights, they're all kind of the same. Berkeley Heights has another one of those big old outdoor summer festival things that we play. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening, Mars. It's almost morning. Welcome, man. Great to have you. I love that thing, The Count. Gotta love The Count. Anybody check out the Jim Henson special on Disney Plus? So cool. It's like a 2-hour documentary about the life of Jim Henson. Fascinating stuff. You're not too far from Mohegan Sun. Well, come check us out if you'd like. We are playing there on the... See, I'm opening my calendar again. Told you I wasn't going to do it. When are we playing there? In August. August 9th. Friday night. So I will not be doing a show. Actually, it's interesting. That week of August 4th through the 10th, I have a show Monday and Friday. Remember I mentioned sometimes I have shows both of those days? So we'll see. Maybe I think the only other day of the week where I'm not, infringing upon anybody else's time that does this kind of stuff is Thursday. So maybe we'll do a Thursday night show that week, which would be the 8th. But anyway, we're going to be in Mohegan Sun on the 9th. If you're interested in coming up to see us. It's a nice venue. I've been there a bunch of times. Relatively new as far as casinos. I remember there was a big deal when they opened it. Something in the way she moves attracts me like a cauliflower. That's right. Very good, Enzo. Or a pomegranate, actually, is what they said in the movie. Attracts me like a pomegranate. I play lots of instruments. Beatlemania, I play in the national touring Broadway show of Beatlemania all over the country. I play John Lennon. So I do everything that John does, but I play guitar, bass, and keyboards, and tambourine, and piano, and everything, and sing up a storm. Have I ever used a heat gun to open up a magazine to remove ads or pages? I think I have a video doing that, actually, Morris. Yes. If they're glue back, I've learned that I don't really need to do that unless it's very stingy, the magazine. But yeah, a hairdryer basically is what I've used instead. I don't have a heat gun, but yeah, a hairdryer. I think there's a video if you check in my playlist or whatever, where I kind of show that. I had this little World's Fair magazine. It was like 8x5, I think, chock full of ads from the 1964-65 World's Fair. It was like brand new. The thing was beautiful. And it was really stubborn. Like, it was very difficult. I couldn't rip the pages out without destroying the ads. So I did just that, Morris. I used a hairdryer basically and just kind of melted the glue, and then they just kind of peeled right out. So yes, I have, but I just used a hairdryer. You don't drive well in the dark, unfortunately, but you would be up for a coffee during daytime if that fits into your schedule. Yeah. Oh, you would be up for a coffee during the schedule. Yeah, cool. Absolutely. I'll have my people talk to your people. Oh, yes, Keith saw. Yeah. Keith saw us, but we played in perhaps the worst venue we've ever played in the night that Keith came. But that's an old story at this point. But yeah, Keith, I wish you had the opportunity to see us in a real place, like for thousands of people. You'd see like the real impact. We're in this little dive biker bar dump when Keith came and saw us. I don't know why we got that show. It was a pickup gig, they call it, if anybody's in the industry, which we were making our way home from. Where were we coming from, Keith? I don't remember. Somewhere west of you. And we came up to come back home, and our agent booked, oh, you have a pickup show in Cleveland if you want it. We're like, yeah, sure, why not? But we did not know what kind of a venue this place would be, or we would never, ever, ever have stopped there. But I'm glad I got to meet Keith, which was worth the time. We do. It is actually the last song of the night, Enzo. Even though it should be really in the first set, obviously, early song. But it is the last show every night. And we talk about going out in a frenzy. People they're all standing and screaming. It's really cool. It's a big rush. It's like my biggest rush. When are we playing in New Hampshire? We've played in New Hampshire like 40 times this year, it feels like. We are playing in New Hampshire on the 18th of August in Portsmouth, returning to the scene of the crime. Beautiful venue. We just played there in April or May, and we'll go one back. What is the name of the place? Yeah, we just played there on May 20, Memorial Day weekend in Portsmouth. I forgot what the place is called, though. Look it up for you, since you asked. Beautiful, beautiful venue. And it was a full house. That's why we're going back. They sold it out. Venues like when you sell out their venue. It's funny how that works. The casino. Jimmy's Jazz and Blues Club is the name of the place in Portsmouth. Beautiful venue. Fantastic people. So, Marilyn, if you're interested, and welcome to the show, Marilyn. If you've watched the full videos on your channel, great stuff. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a couple of videos. Thank you. Yeah, a bar might be a polite way to put it. It was the strangest. How would you describe it, Keith? It was really, it was a bar, and then there was a room on the, there was a bar up front, this little dump bar. Then there was like a room, which is where we played, and they set up folding chairs for people. The stage, believe it or not, was actually pretty nice. It was a professional, like, with stage. But we played, what was it, 100 people, maybe not even. It was a joke. It was this tiny little place. They had some cool posters on the walls and stuff, but you should have seen the green room, the dressing room in this place. It was just disgusting. It was just a nasty, nasty place. And the people were friggin' morons. Awful people. Never again. Never again. But it was really cool to see you, Keith, and meet you. Just a shame it was just such a lousy place. So hopefully you'll see us at a real venue. Every time you see a print ad, 70s Swanson turkey dinner, I have to go out and get one. You need a tin tray. That's the only way to eat them. We do Walrus all the time. Did we not do it that night? You're lucky you heard anything. I was ready to drive. I was ready to go home. We didn't even, it was freezing still. When was that? March? I forgot when we were there. I think it was in March. It was still like the middle of winter, basically. It was freezing cold. They did not have heat on in the place, if you remember, Keith. We found out later that the guy, he was a joke. The owner, who we didn't even see, he sent one of his like boys who did sound for us, tried not to pay us, we always collect payment up front before we even set foot on the stage, because that's what we do, especially in a dive like that. And it wasn't a lot of money. It was a joke, but it was a pickup show, you know? And they were giving us a hassle about money, and They didn't want to pay us, and then they gave us a deposit and then said they would pay the rest, and we had to hunt them down for payment once we were home. It was just a disaster, absolute disaster. But it was freezing cold because the guy never paid his heating bill. The place, it was a dump. It was a dive. It's a fun story to talk about in retrospect, but I was fuming. I was so hungry. We had just come off the road from wherever we drove from. I forgot. And we had no food. It's always in our ride. It was supposed to be fed. They didn't feed us. We didn't get anything. I just couldn't wait to get out of there. Then we went to this awful diner afterwards. Awful. Place was terrible. Cool, Maryland. Yeah, check it out. Very nice place in New Hampshire. Just don't go. And where was the town? It wasn't really Cleveland, Keith, right? It was like a Lakewood or something like that. It was like a suburb of Cleveland. So I don't mean to talk badly of the fine city of Cleveland, but this little offshoot place we played in was absolutely awful. A bar with a room in a back with a stage. Yeah, there you go. That pretty much hits the nail on the head. But a bunch of morons now, but not the people that saw us, but people that worked there were awful people. Bitter, miserable. Want to smack them. It'd be fun to get together for a cup of coffee. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's supposed to be a really good room we're playing in and all, so I'm looking forward to that. That's also, August is a good month for us. Lakewood, yeah, just west of Cleveland. Yep. The guy didn't pay his heating bill, so we were freezing. I'm sure, were you guys freezing in the I'm sure you are at the show. It was like being outside inside. It was, I don't know if you noticed, Keith, but the stage was actually decent. Like the physical stage where we stood. Although it could have used some dryer sheets or baking soda because it reeked of puke. Because I'm sure the fine acts that they have there on other nights are probably, you do recall it was, yeah, a tad chilly. Yes, it was. It was freezing. You should have seen when nobody was in there. It was like an ice box. Road stories. Every other venue's been great. It's just a shame. Keith saw us at the worst possible. Mark saw us in Chicago at a city winery in Chicago on a sub-zero day in early January. And that was a beautiful, beautiful venue. City winery is a really nice place to go to. Oh, the stage, Dawn, you would have walked away. It was awful. It really did. It smelled like puke. It was disgusting. Never again. I can't believe they have events. They have the gall to hold events. I'd love to see who else plays there. Never again. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? If not, I'm probably going to call it an evening and start my lonely night without my wife. Cuddle up with my puppy. No, I'm going to do some listing tonight when the lights go down because it's going to be nice and quiet. My dad goes to bed. If he's not already in bed, he's probably going up any minute now. So I kind of have the place to myself. And I could just get a bunch of listings up. I'm still wide awake. I'm tired from the ride, but I'm not sleepy, if that makes any sense. Shoes sticking to the floor. Absolutely. And that's putting it lightly, patient picker. That the dressing room, in quotes. I think I took pictures. It was like, it was so bad. It was interesting. If that makes any sense. It was like, you expected like a candid camera thing. Like, gotcha. You thought you were really playing this place. I can't remember the last time, maybe when I was 18 in Manhattan and some dive. I don't even think those were as bad as this one, but hey, it was a quote unquote gig. And I did get to meet Keith, which was really cool after talking with him for a while. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hope you keep listing. Hope your sales kick butt. I'm going to set up my printer, my new label printer, thermal printer. I got to get the word right. And I'll let you know how that goes. And let me know, again, I have a opportunity for anybody who's looking for about 1,000 really good print ads, turn of the century, all the way up to like the 50s or 60s, already cut out, ready to roll. Just send me an email if you're interested in learning more about it. If you want to build a collection, start a collection, let me know. It's just JiminyFlipIt@gmail. And first come, first serve. So let me know. I'll give you the details. Have a wonderful weekend. I will catch you next week. Peace and love. Bye-bye.